Hey everybody, let's talk about the type tool or typography, which is very important when you're graphic designing. As you see, it's a T, it's highlighted right here, and it says type tool, and you know with the small little white triangle in the far corner of the tool, that means there's other tools, so let's take a look at them. I'm going to click down, and let's go and tear them off. There are 7 tools. These first 3 are about horizontal text, the other one's about vertical text. So let me tell you one thing. There's a difference between a text when you click and a text box, and let me show you how. Let me click once here, and I'm going to put down a word, hello. And the cool thing about this is I'm able, with this text box, is I can come here and click it just like a shape and make it larger, and do all kinds of cool things. And this is, let's make this 250. We'll make this 250. Hit tab. Nice. And make it 250. Now, that was just me clicking, and then right next to it, let's put one that is the actual text box. So I click and drag here, and boom, there it is again. Let's type in hello again. Hello. They look similar, but of course I'm a little different because I stretch this one out. But we can make it look identical just like this. But here's one of the best things is, as you can see with the hello, I'm able to stretch it, make it taller, make it smaller, or bigger, or do whatever I want to do. With this one here in the text box, let me see if I can do that. But I can't. I can make it smaller, but then it goes away if it's too small. But I'm confined to the actual box I drew. The font really doesn't change. So that's a bad thing. Let's go ahead and see if I can rotate this one. Come over here, I can rotate it, and it actually rotates vertically, which is kind of cool, but not mine. Let's come back here. Let's give it a try on this one here. Let's give it a go. I think it's going to be no. Notice it's no. It doesn't. Whatever you do is always going to stay horizontal, never vertical like the other one does. So that's why I always just click first, and that's how I manipulate my text. Now, the only exception would be is if I have a space that I have to put, say, a paragraph in or some words I have to put in, that's fine. I can manipulate it, but it has to stay within that confined space. You can't do anything else to it. So that's how that works. So let's go ahead and get rid of this text box. Let's come over here and look at this hello. Let's make this a little bit bigger too. Now, there are several different things I can do to adjust this. As you see, I have my contextual bar right here, and I actually have the actual fonts here, which I think is really kind of neat. I can click here, and you see my fonts. As if I hover over the fonts, you can see them changing, which is really kind of neat. And that works wherever you see the fonts all over this board. Let's come back here to this one here. As you can see, there's one here, same thing here, same thing. And then we also have it over here in our properties too, right here under our characters. Same thing, which I think is absolutely amazing. Have more options as possible. In the contextual box, you're also going to see we have our size right here. I can actually go ahead and change whatever. I got some presets in here, but I can keep the what I have here, which is great. And they also have the actual color of it. If I want to click here, I can change the color. So let's go with the yellow, or let's go with the red, something similar to that. Or let's go with this bright green. I like that one even better. Then that's done. I can also see under my appearance, I have the same thing. I have my fill colors like I had just here in my contextual box. I can change that too, which is great. But then I also the option is I have a stroke here. So if I want to put a stroke on the actual things, then I say let's put a stroke on it too. I can put my strokes on whatever I want to do with my strokes. And that's one of the nice things about this. So that's how that works. And that's how I would use a text tool first. Now, let's get a little bit more into strokes. Strokes, we have a couple of things. You'll notice that we have capping, which is if we use lines, and then we also have corners. We have what we call a miter corner, which is like a right angle. We have something called a rounded corner, so maybe you want to round out the corners, or something called a bevel joint, where it actually takes that right angle and kind of cuts it a 45-degree angle. You can use that also. But then we could also do things, different other things down here too. You could take a look at those later on, but you could definitely take a look at those. So that's how I use the very first type tool. Okay, let's go to our second type tool. Delete that. First type tool, we're going to have to actually draw something. It's going to work inside a shape and a shape only. It has to be a closed shape. So make sure you're drawing something. As you can see, I'm drawing right here. I'm bringing it back around, and it's going to come to a close. As you know, it's a close because there's a circle at the end of the pencil tool or the pen or the curvature tool. It's a closed shape. Now, this is actually going to be what we call type in an area. I've just defined the area with this right here. Now let's go ahead and take this and copy this. going to put this off the side for right now, okay? And I'm going to come back to this one later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. I'm going to click on the area tool right here. As you see, it's the type icon, but it's got a circle around it. And that circle means that I call it like a fat belly. It's going to fill something. It's going to fill that shape. So when I click here, boom, I got my L. It's very large because that's what I used before. So let's carry it down. Let's make it down to about, say, 48. I'm going to type the word hello. And I'm going to copy and paste this over and over so you can see how it fills it in. Let's go Control C. Let's go Control V over again. Notice how it's filling the shape. That's filling the shape pretty cool. Hello, hello, over and over again as I keep doing this. And it's absolutely wonderful. And that's what we're looking for. As you can see, it fills the shape. Like I say, it's the belly. So that's really neat. Two things you have to be aware of. One is this little red square down here with a plus sign in it. That means that there's extra fonts, there's extra type that's hidden. Make sure you don't want to hit any type in there because maybe you have a client that wants something specifically done. So make sure that you're good there. So what I usually do is I come here and highlight everything. I make it a little smaller size until I can see it when it goes away. And now it's gone away. And we're good to go. So it's fully filled. Another thing is you can also look at is maybe I want this whole thing filled so the edges, this edge is a little rough. Well, this is like perfect. You come down to the paragraph and you can use some of these paragraphs here. I usually use this one here where it says justify with line on the bottom centered. And I click here and notice that you can see the whole goes right to the edge here. And how it does with that is it kind of makes the spacing between the letters and the words to actually fill that space, and it works out really well. So let's come back over here to this piece I had right here. Why did I have this piece over here? It's because notice when I click off of this, I lose the actual original line. Maybe I want to put it back on there. Maybe I want to put a color underneath it. So I'm going to come over here, bring this over here like this, select these two together. I'm going to use my alignment, align left, align horizontally. It's perfectly on now. Let's go ahead to my layers. Let's bring that behind my actual words and go ahead and let's change it. Come here, select that path right there. And let's give it, nope, I don't have to fill, do it the other one. Let's go over here, give me this one. Let's go to my layers again, we'll select it. Boom. And notice I'm going to change this. Let's make the fill maybe yellow or something like that. Or if I want to change my something maybe to more of an orange. And that's one of the things. So remember, when you fill something or write on a path, you're going to lose the actual original path unless you save it first. So remember that. That's something good to know. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go to our last thing now. We're going to go type on a path. As you see right here, type on a path. I'm going to go ahead and draw another path. So that's somewhere like this. Have some fun with this one. I'll give it a stroke so you can see it. Again, if I type on it, it'll go away. But there's my stroke right there. Boop, boop, boop. Nice. Now when I come here, I can tap. As you can see, it's the actual type icon again, but yet it's got a little line coming through, like a curved line that you're going to type on that path. So that's how I remember it too. Okay, so now I can type on anywhere on the path, and that's where it's going to start. It goes boom, it starts right there. Now I can change that actual where it actually ends up again too. I go Control Z. I can start in the beginning if I want to start here. Boom, it fills the whole path. So let's go ahead and see what happens when I put it in the middle. Perfect. Now I'm able to actually move this if I want to in the middle of the path. And here's where I want to look at. This little white box here, this little white box here. This tells me where it ends, and this tells me where it starts again. So if I go ahead and move it, as you can see, I can move the actual line. I can actually hide things. As you can see, I hit some of the things. As you see, there's that square there with the plus sign. That means something is missing. So I can come back here, extend it back out again, and again it goes away and I have it there. But I can also move the actual start one too. And notice I can move the start one here to the end of the path. What the cool thing is all I know now is that this space here and this space here are equidistant. So I know I have it right in the middle of the actual line itself. If that's pretty where you want it, go ahead and highlight this. You can make things bigger. Bada bing. Let's make it bigger, bigger, bigger. Oh, wrong thing, doing the wrong one. Come over here, make it bigger. I can fill the line if I need to as far as I want to until I get that little spot, that little square we don't want to see. But notice I can have a really good time doing that too. Let's bring that back down to 48 again. So that's how it works. Now, we can also do it on a full closed shape too if we wanted to. So I'll go ahead and get rid of this. Let's say I want a circle. Make a perfect circle. Hold that shift button. Let's make a perfect circle. Boom. Let's see around. I'm going to come here, click on that path again, and I click once here. Boom. As you can see, it works out perfectly. I like how it works. Let's go ahead and mess around with moving some of these things around. Again, I can move these lines like this. I can go halfway with it, do whatever I want to do, however is best and convenient for me. But again, I'm going to come back here. But let's have some other options we want to look at also. Like say I want this on the inside of the circle rather than the outside of the circle. Easily done. All you gotta do is come to your type because we're working with type. Let's go to type on path. Let's go to the options. There's a whole bunch of options we have over here. Make sure the preview button's here so you can actually see what it looks like. We're in rainbow effect right now, but you'll see that there is a skew, there's 3D ribbon, there's stair step, there's also gravity, which is kind of really neat. And we also have the ability to come over here and then align to the baseline, which is the bottom of the letters on the outside of the circle, or do it to the center of the circle, or do it to the top of the center. The ascender is the top of it too, how it fits inside the circle. Now that's one way we could do it. Let's go back to our descenders again. Or we can also flip it. We can do something like this. Boom, it flips in. And it works out really, really well. So that's what you also have to use for these first three tools right here, typing on a path. And the last thing I want to talk about now is the vertical in the area, and the vertical on a type. These all work the same way, but the only difference is if I click vertically, I click here, and notice my words go up and down this way. And that's how that changes. That's all it is. The other thing I want to address is over here is our height and our spacing between our letters and everything like that. That should have no problem. You should know that from all of your work while using like Google Docs and things like that. But if you want to play with those, you can play with those too. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you soon.